Hey guys, Josh here. Just thought I'd make a video a little bit different to the normal, just like Twitch streams to what I normally do. But I've been recently doing the C3 drift comp, and I find it really, I found it personally quite hard to build a drift car that could do it well, because a lot of the races are pretty tight. They're all in car parks, need, decent power while still being a C3 class to be able to actually drift and win those races. So I thought, you know what, I'll show you guys a bit of Mark II that I built, and the setup doesn't cost too much. I know money's pretty tight in this game normally, so it's a fairly budget build. It drifts pretty easily. I'm not the best, but I find that it works pretty nicely. So yeah, let's just jump into it. So look, we're here at the tuning shop. I'm just going to run through what I've done to make this work pretty nicely for me. One thing I made a mistake of when I first made this drift car was I actually reduced the weight instead of increasing the power as much as I should have. And I've found that for the C3 class, increasing power rather than reducing weight just helps you spin the wheels a bit easier. So first thing, racing ECU, sport turbo, sport cams. You can see here, I won't run through it all, but it's pretty much racing and then sport engine block, sport cylinder head, manifolding, cams. Everything else is racing. Racing costs a bit of credits, but it costs no street coins, so that it's fairly easy to get these and add them on. If we go transmission, do whatever you want here. The only key thing is that you do a welded diff. You don't need to spend the money on an ultimate diff and then lock it. Just get welded. It works perfectly fine. And clutch, I just got a racing clutch just for slightly quicker shifts, but it's not actually required for this. When we get to body, nothing. I just left it as it is. It works perfectly fine. Suspension, if you get as high as you can, or the best upgrade as you can on most of these. So for suspension arms, the ultimate arm is key. That does cost street coin, but it'll give you all the customization you need. I think everything else, racing is fine. I just went ultimate on springs just because I wanted to make the car as low as I could as well, but you don't actually need that. You could just go elite and you'd probably be fine. And then wheels, this is quite important. Spacers probably don't matter too much. I just, again, install ultimate to make the car look as cool as possible. And then rims, I did a 225 40 18 in the front and a 245 35 18 in the rear. They're both the elite. And then tires, I went stretch -5 in the front and just stretch normal in the rear. I'm not sure how much difference that makes to grip, so you could probably try it without those, but just so you know, that's what I did. And then from a tuning perspective, if you have a look at our upgrades, I increased the pressure in front and rear tires to 2.5 bar. I changed the wheel offset just to make fitment better. For suspension, I lowered the car a little bit. Caster, I increased to 11.4. You'll be able to do this with the ultimate suspension. You might even be able to do it to this level with the slightly downgraded suspension, front arms I should say. So caster 11.4, Ackerman I put it on 70, and steering angle maxed that out. Wheel toe I gave it a little bit negative just so it's a bit sharper turning, and then for the rear I dropped it spring length. Camber at -5.5, that will help you spin the tires because you don't have a heap of power in this car. And wheel toe I gave +0.15, that will just help you kind of get a bit of speed in the drifts. I think that's about all for tuning. We look at in the engine I increased the rev limiter. It only goes up by an extra 190, so it's not drastic, but that's about all there is for tuning. And then otherwise just make it look cool, man. I reckon this looks sick. Ganadors, the R34 GTR wheels, yeah, looks cool. So anyway, I'll take it to a race and I'll show you what it's like. Alright, so this is the Savage Club Rev Up and Race, is the race. I haven't done this one before, so let's do it together and see how easily this car can do it. Look how low it is, it looks so good. So you'll see that pretty much all the races for this club are like really small parking lots. And initially, without tuning, I find it pretty hard to get the car drifting enough. Oh, there I screwed up by not clutching in when I handbrake. If you watch my streams, you'll know I do that all the time. And what you want to do is kind of just do as bigger and faster drifts as possible. But these areas are super small, so it's pretty hard. What I also find is sorry, I just had to pay attention. What I also find is if you don't, if you just stay doing the same drift, you actually lose points. It'll calls it like a boring drift or something like that. But it's not that. It doesn't matter that much. Just try and do some circle work. Keep it pretty easy. With this setup, you'll be fine. Like look at that. I've done pretty terribly. You know, stalled the car multiple times. Still had 15 seconds left, and we just passed the point threshold. So no real problem in doing this. It's a good setup. It's relatively cheap, I guess, compared to some other things that you could get in the game. So have fun. Hopefully it works for you. Let me know in the comments below if it does. And yeah, check out my Twitch streams if you like. See ya. Bye. Hey guys, thought I would make a different video today. Just focus more on a drift build in CarX. So for C3 racing, you need, there's a C3 drift club called Savage, Drift Club Savage or something like that. It's a bit of a pain to set a car up for that drift club, I find. To have enough power and the really short races and that sort of stuff. So yeah, today I'm just going to take you through how to build a pretty nice Drift Mark II that can get you winning those races pretty easily.